Good day, scholars, and welcome. My name is Anthony Wambua from Daystar University. I worked on this research paper with Bernard Marke from Kisii University. The paper is titled Adopting Course Completion Tracking and Conditional Activities to Enhance Engagement in eLearning for University Students. The study is motivated by the need to increase user engagement in e-learning courses. Coronavirus broke out in Wuhan in China in December 2019. Subsequent to that, World Health Organization declared it a pandemic in January 30th, that is 2020. And many institutions of higher learning had to transition to e-learning. They did that with varied success depending on their experience with the same technologies before the outbreak. A long-standing problem in e-learning courses has always been user engagement, as we found out from literature, and you can see that from the main paper. The Common Learning Management System is modeled in Kenya and in Africa. It has tools such as activity completion tracking and conditional activities or resources that can potentially enhance class engagement. Most tools have not been explored in research to ascertain their impact on enhancing engagement. So, our challenge was when most people went online, then the problem of engagement in those classes kicked in. Scholars, teachers talked of students who were not fully engaged with the course, and we sought out to find whether these two tools could be used to enhance class engagement. This research will therefore focus on investigating the potential of completion tracking and conditional activities to enhance engagement. We had two research questions. Does completion tracking enhance course engagement in online environment? Does the use of conditional resources and activities enhance course engagement in online environment? We sought to find out this so that it can benefit scholars. We used an experimental research design. That was our research approach. We enrolled students in online classes at the beginning of the semesters with the two features, namely completion tracking and conditional activities enabled. After 2 months, these features were disabled, and after 2 months of using or being in the courses with the two features disabled, we gave out surveys to students to find out what they felt about the period when the two features were enabled. We also used Moodle data to analyze the course engagement so that we could validate through triangulation on what students told us through the surveys. A 5-point Likert scale was used for the quantitative data collection. The completion tracking feature meant for each topic, the computer or the learning management system would indicate the level of completion for the students. Without this feature, a student does not see the percentage that they have covered in a given topic, and therefore, it is not possible for a student to know where to pick from when they come back or when they get back to the system. When this feature is enabled, for each topic, we can see the percentage a student has covered. The teacher can also see what percentage a certain student has covered. This is shown in the diagram shown in the picture here. Conditional activities. This feature allows us to enable access to some features based on the completion of others. As can be seen in this diagram, the lesson variables and data types could not be accessed unless the introduction to Java topic was marked as complete by the system. This means we can have a chain of resources or activities and restrict them based on the completion rate of other previous activities. Like lesson 2 quiz cannot be accessed until you have first covered the lesson itself, which is variables and data type. You cannot watch the video unless you have covered the lesson first. So we wanted to find out whether these two features had the potential to increase engagement in the class. These were the major outcomes. Completion tracking made me engage more with the course. 39.3% of the students strongly agreed that the engagement increased, while 52.4% agreed, 1.2% disagreed, 7.1% neither agreed nor disagreed. And therefore, completion tracking actually enhances engagement in online courses. How about conditional activities? 40.5% agreed that this feature when enabled, made them engage more with the course. 33.3% agreed. 6% neither agreed nor disagreed. 8.3% disagreed. No one strongly disagreed. And therefore, we find out that conditional activities and conditional resources enhance engagement in online classes. We did not stop with the student survey because we needed to actually see that from the Moodle log data. Moodle log data enables us to view the actual hits on specific course activities or course resources. When we looked at one of the courses, this is what we found out. That for the first 2 months when the feature was enabled, that is between 12th September to around 7th November, there was increase in course engagement. Users were accessing the resources and the activities more. But when the features were disabled around 7th November, there was a decline on the rate of engagement all the way to around 5th December as students were preparing for exams. So the spikes show the periods when students were preparing for exams or other assessments that were drawing closer to their deadlines. We also found the same in literature, that around the time students were preparing for the exit exam or assessment items, there was a spike in access to the course materials or course activities. From the Moodle log data, we confirmed that what students felt is actually what was happening, that there was increased engagement while these two features were in use. Conclusion and outlook. The research sought to find out if completion tracking and conditional activities had the potential to increase user engagement for online courses. We established that the two features, when used, can significantly increase course engagement. The novelty of this study lies in experimenting potential of the two features to increase course engagement, which from literature we found out that these features had not been explored in terms of their potential to increase course engagement. From this study, teachers will get to know how to use these two features, and also will begin to use the features to greatly enhance course engagement. From literature, increased user engagement reduces learner isolation, which is a major problem with online classes. Learner isolation is known to cause attrition and high completion rates. We can now use these features to curb this or to increase engagement, which will control attrition and uncompletion rates. Like any other study, this study had limitations, and will also make some suggestions for further study into the topic. One is the size of respondents or participants. We had 90 students who took part in this survey. We hope that in future we can have a higher number taking part in this or in a similar study, so that we are able to generalize the results with a higher degree of confidence. As is, generalizing this outcome needs to be done with caution. Again, we also hope that the same study can be carried out with a qualitative approach to it to help capture the non-quantitative aspects of the research. So further study can focus on more participants to enable, higher degree of generalization. We can also use mixed methods, that is qualitative and quantitative, to see what actually learners felt in terms of putting a voice into their reactions or feelings towards the use of the learner engagement when the two features were used. It would also have been very interesting to see what would have happened if we use the features in non-examined courses, so that we do not have the spikes that come into play when learners are preparing for exams or assessments or drawing submission deadlines. If it was a course that had no deadlines and examinations, it would have been very interesting to see whether the same outcomes will be arrived at. Thank you. I hope that you can engage with the main paper to find out the other details of the study. Thank you very much.